So there's a couple of different tools we're going to talk about today. One is the caliper. Get it open. And the caliper comes in a couple of varieties. We'll start with that one. The caliper can come either in a digital form, which is what I'm sure you would all prefer because it just outputs exactly what the number is, and that's your measurement. The dial version requires a little bit more attention to the numbers down here and the numbers on the dial. So I'll talk about both of these, but for the most part nowadays in calipers you're seeing digital for pretty much everything. And these have the capability of measuring to the hundredths place on the decimal. So we're out of eighths, sixteenths, we're out of those weird numbers, and now we're just breaking it up decimally. So the first column, 0.0, that is the tenths, and then the hundredths, and then the thousandths, and then this is the 10,000ths. But on most of these digital calipers, you can only measure to the nearest 10,000th. You can't get individual numbers. So you'll see I either get in that last digit, I either get a 0 or a 5. I never see anything but a 0 or a 5. So it's not really measuring to the 10,000ths. So with this, I can get fairly close. I can take this caliper and I can spread it out and I can measure this, and I find out, oh, it's 2.005 inches. Okay, so I assume that that's 2 inches. But I don't know the accuracy for sure, because watch what happens if I squeeze a little too hard here. So I can put this down, I get my 2.0, I get my 2.0. Oh, now look, I'm squeezing it, and now I'm getting different measurements. 2.040. If I squeeze it this way, oh, 2.045. That number is moving around an awful lot for something that's supposed to be a precise tool. And that's because these are for quick measurements. This is for, I need to know about what size this is. I don't care about down to the thousandth or the 10,000th of an inch. So these are great for quick measurements. But if you need something a little bit more precise, if you're looking for exactly what it needs to be, which is what this ends up needing to be, I have to have this made so that it fits in an existing piece that was machined to the thousandth of an inch. So with the digital caliper, it's easy to read. With the dial caliper, it's still not all that hard. I can just spread this out, and as I go across, I'm going to start seeing numbers appearing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, look, there's a different one. That means 1 inch. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but that one, so it goes 0, see it's on a higher plane, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1 is up on a higher plane. So that means 1, and then 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and so on. So if I stretch this all the way out, I'm going to find that I'm right on the 2, and I'm just past the 0 on my dial. So same kind of idea. It gets harder when you don't have an even measurement like this, but same concept, just a little bit more skill to read, and the advantage is you don't have to have batteries, so that's a win for everybody. But if we really want to get down to the thousandth of an inch with this, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to use a micrometer. And this is just like the caliper, but it has the capability of measuring to the 10,000th, and it has the capability of doing it much more accurately, because I won't be able to bend this thing no matter how hard I tried. So and it actually has a clicker involved that tells me I've gone tight enough. It tells me when I've made it too tight. So with this, I'm going to choose my 1 to 2 inch micrometer, because these come in all different sizes, because they can only measure 1 inch at a time. It's broken into 1,000 pieces. You can't expect to get too much. So the first one is 0 to 1 inch. So right now it's on 0, and then I can open it up as far as 1 inch. Then there's 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and 5 to 6. So this is a complete set. I'm going to use the 1 to 2, which means that the maximum reading this can have is 2 inches. And I'm going to see if it works. Hopefully this isn't bigger than 2 inches, otherwise I'm going to have to go up a size. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this out until it fits around the sleeve. And you hear that little click? That means I've gotten it where I want it. So this one's going to be an easy one, because I actually knew that this thing was 2 inches exactly. But I'll show you how I go about doing it. I'm going to open this up. Hopefully everybody can see in the video. There's little numbers here along the barrel. And remember, this can only measure between between 1 and 2 inches. So it only has 1 inch of measurement. So in this case, I would take my first number, 1 point, and then each one of these is the point. So 1.1 would be down here, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and so on. So with this item, I can see the 0.9, right? And I can see the next 0, which means that's the full 2 inches. So I'm going to turn this down. And a lot of measurement with precision like this is about having a feel. You have to kind of wiggle it and feel it to know when you're in the right spot. And there we go. So now I'm going to hold this up. You can see the 0, and you can see I'm lined up on 0 here, which means this is exactly 2.00 inches.